Welcome to the Zoned Out Podcast, where we just talk about our daily little shit. And, if anybody wants to comment throughout the shit, they can. But I just want to give a quick little shout out. And actually, I'm going to be doing this. My eye got a little poked. I stabbed it earlier by accident, so if I look weird throughout the recording, it's because I'm like partially blind right now. It's like dilated, it feels like. But, that's just for anybody who's going to be like, yo, what the fuck's up with this dude's eye? I just want to give a quick shout out to Ryan Fitzpatrick. He just retired. Well, he didn't retire, but he handed the reins of the team over to Tua. And as a Dolphins fan, it's great news because we haven't had. I remember being a Dolphins fan. The only bright spot was like 2012 or some shit like that when we signed Suh and we won 10-6. But then we didn't even win a playoff game. And then after that, we went back to being the bullshit ass Dolphins that we are. And I was like, the fuck we gonna be like this whole decade? This last whole decade, last decade and the decade before that, Dolphins are just in straight booty. But it's 2020. Tua started, he has all this hype. He was the number one pick before all that shit happened to his leg. And if he's the real deal, like Justin Herbert or one of those other guys, then I'll be proudly repping some Dolphin gear. Like I'll be repping this Heat gear. That's another team I'll be repping. Miami Heat, shouts out to them for the great run this year. And they'll be back. They'll be back. But a main point that I wanted to get to was NASA apparently started their own project. The announcement. And I don't know what the announcement is. I just saw a tweet about it. It was gonna be about the moon. I'm like, it's an exciting new discovery about the moon on Monday. When is that? So today is Wednesday. They want us to wait a whole goddamn 5 days, bro. What the fuck? What are they gonna be telling us? I think they're gonna be like launching shit from the moon, man. Like some Costco shit. Like Jeff Bezos built like the perfect Superman and he sent him to the moon or something like that. I'm not sure what the hell they're gonna say. Like, I'm trying to think, man. What about the moon? Could be something that they gotta make an announcement in the middle of this boring ass month. Because if we look at it, October has been the most calm month of 2020, man. Because we've had, fires, this whole mad CC Chan thing going on, with the face mask, I can't say the name, the C man, the disease, and all that shit. The people out in the streets, the shootings, the riots, all that stuff, the protesting, all that. That all happened this year. And, NASA, they just want to make this announcement. And I feel like it's going to be some big news. Because why the hell, when is the last time NASA made an announcement? I don't remember that. I don't remember that shit at all. So that's going to be interesting. If they say you can move out to the moon, man, I might have to go over there, man. The moon seems pretty chill. Shouts out to Kid Cudi, man, on the moon. But why the fuck wouldn't I go to the moon? The only downside is I can't go to the beach. If they could build a beach over in the moon, that's my fucking place from now on, dog. I'll be just out there stoning off an asteroid and then head off the beach. Get a nice little view of Earth. See how it actually looks. But we gotta see. The only reason why I say it's gotta have the oceans because I'm a big beach person. I like the sea life. And the other time when I was at the beach the other day, I saw a fucking manatee just pull up right next to me, dog. It was the craziest shit ever. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I thought it was like a Kraken Jr. just pulling up to the scene and saying, I'm going to take you for my lunch. But it wasn't that. It was just a little manatee. And I got out the water for a bit because behind the manatee was like a fucking 20-foot long serpent in the back. Just chilling, just waving around. And, that's what it looked like from afar. Let me just correct myself. That's what it looked like from afar. But, when I saw that shit, everybody just got out. We thought it was like Jaws episode 2020. Redux South Florida edition, something like that. But, eventually I grew a pair and I got in the water and I saw just a fucking school of fish just jumping around and shit. I was like, how does a group of fish look like a goddamn Cthulhu dick or some shit like that? Like, what the fuck? How is that shit so long and is waving? They're all moving together, coordinated too, man. Some fucked up shit. I'm just reading about the NASA. Man, I bet you they're building. Yeah, I bet you it's a headquarters. I'm seeing a tweet. It's gonna be about water. Who is this guy? This might be true. This might be true. Might be about NASA and water. I guess we find out. Cause you know what? I've heard about this thing that octopuses or squid, one of those. Let me look it up while I do that. I think they have like alien DNA. Yeah. Let's see. Let me see. Or am I just like repeating bullshit facts that I saw on like YouTube? All right. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Octopuses have alien DNA. They have shit that we never seen before. And I believe it. Do you ever see those fucks? They change colors. They could predict World Cup winners. They know all that bullshit. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm reading more into the article. Uh, I'm not reading all this shit. Let me see. Are they? I'm gonna control F and see if it says that. They offer it's a possibility because of its nervous system and camera-like eyes, flexible bodies. Yeah, all that bullshit that they got. Why don't we have that? Why don't we have flexible bodies? Why are we so goddamn stiff? What, like compared to monkeys, humans suck, man. We can't climb no trees like that. We can't beat our chest like crazy. I seen a gorilla fight, and that was the most intense shit ever, man. I'm gonna look that up right now. They should do. So I put up gorilla fight, and there's a fucking picture of 3 gorillas just fighting a lion. I don't know people like these Photoshop people. Why they post these whack ass stuff, man. Let me mute that. I'm gonna mute YouTube real quick. But if I was like making animal fights, I feel like a fight I would want to see is, let me see. I feel like I want to have different classes. I want to have a big one. I have an underwater one. I have a big killer whale versus 3 killer whales versus 2 sperm whales. But the sperm whales trained to fight back. They're not on that. We're gonna run away shit. They're gonna be like, hey, we're gonna use our giant our way up flippers on your ass. Another one I would do is penguins and turkeys. I feel like that would be a interesting scat. It's usually the toughest. You know, that'd be something. Or a walrus versus a grizzly bear with armor. Now, actually, if the walrus doesn't have their tusks, that's an even fight for anybody. Even with the tusk, it's an even fight. So I'd probably put that one. I'd put that one there. You have to do the classic jaguar tiger one. You have to do that fight. Ooh, shit. Damn. Or I don't know if vultures are good for anything, or if they just like wait for people for the animals to be dead to go attack. Because if they mean business, then sure. I want to see vultures versus bats on some Halloween type shit, you know? Give me 30 bats and 20 vultures and just let them go at it. Because I know bats be little, but those motherfuckers be sucking blood doing all that shit, man. Shit, man. I feel like a toucan would be a good opponent also. But let me just switch about that. Talking about fights. I know there's fights going on this weekend. And since I'm already talking about it, I'll just give you my predictions for some of the fights this weekend. I might do some bets. I might not. Depends how my gut feels. I'm just gonna start from the main card and go up, just to keep it short and simple. So you got Magomed Ankalaev versus Jan Kutaleba, right? I really wish I could mirror my screen right now, but I can't do that on this computer, sadly. But yeah, I remember I was watching this fight. This is supposedly a rematch because the first one was the worst stoppage ever. The Kutalaba was playing possum, and the referee was just being a straight up dumbass, not being able to recognize anything, and he stopped it while he was actually throwing a punch. So that was technically a knockout loss for him. Before that, he looked pretty good. He was being pretty aggressive. But I was reading some of Ankalev's record, and that dude seems legit. Seems pretty damn legit. So I guess I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take him. In the next fight, it's Lauren Murphy versus I'm gonna mess up this name. Lilia Sharkirova. I'm gonna go with Lauren Murphy just because she's a veteran, and she should get the job done. This is not really a deep card for a Khabib card. It's I guess it's what you expect. You have a good main event, and then just the card's all right. Though I love the co-main event though. That's a great fight. But most pay-per-views are just stacked. Like even the prelim headliner is just good as hell. Like you got this one, some dudes making their debut on the main card for this card. So it's like whatever. But where some guys making his debut is Jacob Malkouen versus Philip Hayes. I'm gonna go with Philip Hayes for a quick knockout or a second round knockout because I saw him fight a month ago and he got the quick finish. And this other guy, he's 4-0. I just not sure how ready he would be. This guy, he's been on some bigger shows before, so I would expect him to be experienced, And this is where it gets juicy, very juicy, very entertaining. The value starts to pick up. You got Alexander Volkov versus Walt Harris. Volkov with a record of 31-8. Walt Harris 13-8 with one no contest. See, it's a very interesting fight because Volkov he has everything. He could have everything to beat Walt Harris. He has the distance control. He doesn't have the takedown defense, despite him having like the highest takedown defense. If you saw his fight against Curtis Blades, he's got taken just at will. So he doesn't have that. But he has, I guess, good. He's a good point fighter. He's a good, just getting points each round. I feel if Walt Harris has to win, he has to get a quick knockout, a knockout under 7 minutes, 8 minutes, something like that. But I don't know, with Volkov in the Derek Lewis fight, he got knocked out literally in the last 20 seconds of the fight that he was winning. So I can't really bet on a guy like that that was so close to winning, to just stealing it, to just getting knocked out in the last 20 seconds. So I feel like maybe Walt Harris would be upset win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Volkov won. But I'm just gonna go with a gut feeling. I feel like maybe Walt Harris can get it done. So I'm gonna go with Walt Harris. And the next fight is very exciting. This is Robert Whitaker, former champion, with a record of 22-5, versus Jared Cannonier with a record of 13-4. Oh man, this is a very tough one. I went everywhere with this one. At first I saw the fights with Joel Romero, with Robert Whitaker, and he didn't get knocked out, but he got dropped a couple times. And if there was some more seconds added to the clock, who knows how that could have ended. But Jared Cannonier, I feel like we haven't seen that much of him in middleweight. He's only been here for 3 fights. He used to be a former heavyweight. I don't think he's ever fought in the 3rd round as a middleweight or a 2nd round as a full fight because they've all been quick knockouts. So maybe that's telling me to pick the quick knockout. But besides Israel, and Stephen Thompson. Whitaker's got a warrior spirit and warrior's chin, man. He just doesn't go out. But you can say the same thing about Cannonier. He's only been knocked out by Dominic Reyes and just the other guys that are pretty good in a higher weight class. So it's a really tough fight, and you can tell by the betting odds since it's a pick 'em. Man, this is gonna be a really tough one. Really tough pick. Like, I picked Rob to win his last fight against Darren Till, and I thought he would lose his last fight against Israel. Let me see. I thought Cannonier would win his last 3 fights, and he did. Yeah, let's go with Cannonier. With the main event, it's gonna be very, very entertaining. You got the undefeated Khabib Nurmagomedov, 28-0 versus Justin Gaethje, 22-2. It's gonna be a really tough fight because Khabib just makes everybody look average. Not average, but he just makes them look not like the world class fighter that they are. He made Poirier look like it wasn't that hard for him. And Gaethje, I feel like Gaethje has all the momentum in the world, and he has a spirit and belief in him. But you could say the same thing of all the other fighters about versus Khabib. It's a very tough one. You can't pick a guy who's 28-0. Logically, I feel like I'll say this logically, and 70%. I'll say this 70% chance Khabib wins, but if I have to go with a gut feeling again, and if I want to make money off betting, since he's a good underdog, I will do Justin. I will do Justin for sure, just as a single bet, just as that. All right, well, I hope y'all like this, and hope y'all stay tuned in for the next one. All right, y'all, peace.